welcome back to Penelope's Kitchen.
欢迎来到冉冉的厨房，私厨。
So today, we're going to bake blueberry muffins. It's an old recipe I found in a cookbook printed in 1975, and it was credited to a woman from Newfoundland, where my mother was from. So for me, it's become quite a special recipe over the time. So it's blueberries and oatmeal, and it's a lovely combination.
哇，这个配方真是难怪这么受欢迎。它是1975年赵老师得到的这个蓝莓麦芬的，从纽芬兰的一位女生那儿拿到的这个配方，所以这也是我们今天的秘密啊，是冉冉从跟赵老师学的第一个就是蓝莓麦芬，特别受欢迎。它是燕麦，就是用这个 whole wheat flour 的做的。所以今天我才知道这个秘密。
So I've already measured the flour to save a bit of time.
全麦粉，它是我们今天还是做双份的量，一份呢是1杯啊，2份就是2杯。
So we're going to double the recipe because everybody likes the muffins.
It's true. Yeah, so popular. 真的是太受欢迎了。
So we'll show the recipe with the ingredients for 1 dozen, but we'll make 2 dozen if we double the recipe. So we'll put the baking powder in.
它一份呢是12个麦芬，那2份就是24个。
So
我们现在2个盆呢，一个盆放干的，一个盆放湿的。这里头是2杯的燕麦粉，然后呢再加上1勺的这个叫泡达。
1 teaspoon of baking powder and 1 teaspoon of baking soda, which is double the recipe. Whoops, didn't get quite enough there. I put a little bit more in.
No, this one has to be 2 teaspoons.
No.
Baking powder.
It's 1 teaspoon. Oh, that's the baking powder. Okay.
Yeah.
I'll,
No.
That's the soda, which is a half, right? So I need to put 1 more. That's typical of recipes. More baking powder than baking soda, right?
对，双份的量，所以这个泡达呢是2个
And our lovely
teaspoon，2个勺。
salt. So what double is 1 teaspoon of salt.
现在演示的都是双份的量，所以1勺的，那1份就是半勺。
So this recipe is set up so that you mix the dry ingredients together.
把这些干的，就是面粉、苏打、泡达，还有盐，把它混在一起。
So in the other one, we have what we call the wet mixture, which will be R or Lianga Jidan. And no, I can see from
这是2份，就是1/2杯
that looks like
的。
half a cup. You see?
Yeah, perfect. 非常棒。
This recipe is very flexible, very accommodating. So if you put a little bit more or a little bit less of things in, it's not that critical. So half cup. So of sugar. This one's a bit small. So
红糖呢
that's
是
a half. Iban.
半杯，半个2杯。Now
And then
it's
one.
right.
And
所以是1杯1个2杯加半杯的红糖。
put that there. So and then the milk, which is 2 cups, I think, right?
Milk 呢是双份的量，就是2杯。
The recipe actually calls for buttermilk, which is a little bit acidic, and it activates the baking soda and the baking powder to make them fluffier. But I don't bother with it. They seem to be fluffy enough. So
What does mean fluffy?
Fluffy, light and airy, right?
Oh. 所以呢，这个原来的这个食谱呢是用黄油，但是呢，赵老师说那个太 fluffy 了，所以它是改成用牛奶。牛奶呢，我平时也是用的都是牛奶，它吃起来更加的松软，更加的juice 哈。
Well, we put the Now, at this point, we could put the blueberries in, and which I think I'll do, and then we add the flour at the end. When I freeze the blueberries, I put exactly 2 cups of blueberries in here. I bake these at home every week, so I don't have to measure them. And these are frozen, or they were frozen, mostly frozen.
现在加入2个量杯的蓝莓，赵老师在家已经量好了，所以呢。
Pour this in now, a little bit at a time. Well, actually put it all in. There we go. So mix this up. You see, this is actually quite a quick recipe. Once we get this in, it'll thicken a bit as we go.
观众就会看到这个湿的呢放在大的盆里面，因为你小盆加进来还方便，这个大的就方便把它们搅在一起。
Oh, it looked a little thin.
Yeah, I think so. I'm wondering. 我在想这么稀怎么做呀？这个麦芬。后来想到我们放了一个很重要的，就是 oatmeal。
Now it's thicker. Now it looks like it's working.
It's now makes sense.
So this is just before New Year's. We've had Christmas.
哇，真的，张老师提醒了他。Yeah, you're right.
Did you have a good Christmas? Did you have a good Christmas?
Yes, I did. And 我们是2023年的最后一次烘焙，所以呢，要把最拿手的、最珍藏的、最 special 的献给大家。那我们下一次呢，再见的时候就会是2024年。张老师问我，也问电视机前的观众朋友们，你们度过了一个愉快的、很好的圣诞吗 ？Did you spend a good Christmas?
I did.
I did. Yes.
Everybody, everyone, my wife and 2 boys are in town, and we all got together and had a lovely Christmas Eve and Christmas Day.
张老师呢是跟他的太太还有2个儿子一起呢，在一起过的圣诞。
So I tell you, it's a little bit thin. So it would need a bit more flour or a bit more oatmeal, but I think it's okay. Normally, when I make it, it's a little thicker. Oddly enough, I don't know what I did this time, but the recipe is quite flexible in terms of quantities of things. You just end up with put a bit more flour in, and that'll dry up a bit of the moisture.
对，我们因为赵老师他觉得。即便是刚才都配好了，可是呢，还是觉得有点稀，这样的话不容易成型，就是往那个纸杯里放的时候，所以又自己呢做主加了一点。
There we go.
就是麦。
It's just a little thicker.
面粉。
And the reason for that is it's easier to spoon into the muffin cups.
对。
Yeah, if it's really liquidy, it's difficult to deal with. So we've prepared the muffin cups with these little paper liners in each one, and so
这个呢就是刚才赵老师说的叫 muffin paper cup， 就是我们待会儿呢会把调好的馅儿呢料呢放在这里面，如果太稀呢，他是说不好装盘。
So I have a bigger metal spoon which I'll lift it with, and this one is just to help clean it off, you see. So let's move that back a little bit, and try not to get too much of it. You can see it dripping from the spoon. If it was a little thicker, it would be a little easier to spoon, but that's not too bad actually in terms of so like we're having lots of dough here. This usually
I have one more tree.
Oh, do you? I think we'll be all right, but you never know. What I find with this recipe, because you're sort of measuring by eye, guessing how much you put in each one, sometimes I get more muffins, sometimes I get less.
他说呢，平时我都是目测来做这个衡量，做多少量。那有时候呢，我就会麦芬呢比准备的杯子要多，但是呢，有时候做的就比准备的杯子少。我以前做也出现过这种情况。
So there we are, 400 degrees for 20 minutes. So that temperature and time has been quite reliable with these muffins. So
400度的烤箱温度20分钟，烘焙20分钟。
So we'll see in 20 minutes. There. But let's get the muffins out now. Don't mind the noise in the background. So there we are. One.
Wow, looks so good.
Don't they look good?
Yes.
Tasty.
Yeah, because
Culture.
they're brown. 看到黄色啦，所以
看
这
到。
个时候就好了。
There's the other one.
哇，并且可以闻到香味儿了。
So we actually forgot to set the timer, but it looks like we guessed right. So
看着不错，这就是真的卖相很好，并且品很漂亮。
well, the muffins are done, and as you see, Penny now has an apron on. She's busy cooking lunch when the muffins were cooking. So here we have one. Doesn't that look good?
Wow, look at this.
Throw that. So do you want to taste?
Yes, of
Okay.
course.
So we open it up. Look at those lovely blueberries inside. We'll have a little taste here. They're a little bit warm still. Oh, they taste good.
一定要吃新鲜的，太好吃了。是我们新年的味道。我们2024年预祝大家新年快乐 ，Happy New Year！
Yes, 新年快乐。
明年见。
是谁老师？